Welcome to the very first episode of my new series. It's not a podcast, it's not a vlog. Sort of, if the two had a baby, I'm going to call it a VlogCast. A good example would be, if you've ever seen any of my What I Eat in a Day videos, I do a little segment called Sip and Chat or Snack and Chat. We discuss topics related to my channel: keto, weight loss, intermittent fasting, the struggles we all face, and occasionally there's even a review. So it's going to be a lot like that segment, except on a lot larger scale. I'm not going to be focusing just on me. At this point, I'm not sure if I'm going to release a video weekly, monthly. It just depends on how well it's received. The only thing that we have left to do at this point is name the series, and that's where I need your help. So if you have any suggestions, put them in the comments. Honestly, I don't even know where or how to start. It's one of those wow moments. What is going on here kind of situations. I want to talk about this video. I'm not exactly sure what reaction I was expecting when I released it. Truthfully, I didn't think there would be much of one. What followed, like the comments, the misinformation, some confusion, and a statement or action that was taken by YouTube, has left me speechless. The video I'm referring to is titled Why I'm Quitting Keto. The most amazing thing that came from it was the amount of support and encouragement. Those of you that have been with me for a while know the situation that has transpired over the last 2 years. And I was worried that by putting it out there and saying that I'm no longer doing keto, that I would lose a few of you guys, maybe even disappoint you. Yeah, that was my biggest fear with that video. But that's not what happened at all. I received so much support and love and encouragement and prayers and well wishes, so thank you. Now we're going to talk about some of the other things that came about because of the video. Let me start by saying that I'm not a doctor. If you are planning on making any lifestyle change, make sure that you consult your healthcare team. I'm sharing my journey, and I'm just giving my opinion about a few things in this video. Here's what I realized while I was reading through the comments of the Why I'm Quitting Keto After 4 Years video. A lot of people have no idea that there is a huge difference between type 1 diabetes and type 2. I'm not an endocrinologist, so I'm not here to educate people. I do want to bring awareness, and maybe in the future I'll do a dedicated episode on what the differences are in the two. 2 years ago, I had no idea they weren't pretty much the same thing myself until I was thrown into it, and I had no other option but to figure out how to navigate the world of type 1 diabetes really, really fast. Moving on to something else I noticed. At what point did it become acceptable for people to shame others over their diet, their lifestyle, what foods they consume? I know personally, on my channel alone, I have mentioned multiple times that I was raised, if you don't have anything nice to say, zip it. But this video made me realize that a lot of people did not learn that when they were young. They feel like pushing their specific way of eating is somehow going to make others change their mind. I'm referring to the comments like, that's not keto, or you were never really keto anyways because you eat way too many processed foods. My channel has only focused on a low-carb keto lifestyle for 4 years. I've been doing this for over 5 at this point. No one said a word to me when I was eating Pop-Tarts and I was 70 pounds heavier, but it's okay to shame me or others for the foods we consume now that we've adopted a healthier lifestyle, whether it's keto or low carb. No, it's not acceptable. At what point, as a culture, as a society, are we going to stand up and say, enough's enough, you don't get to comment on what I eat? So when someone says, that's not keto, the first thing that pops into my mind is, have you done your research? Do you even know how this all began? Keto actually started in the 1920s. It was created to help children with epilepsy. It was never intended as a weight loss diet. The word keto actually is short for ketosis or ketones. Now, I'm not just gonna grab this stuff out of thin air. These are definitions. Ketosis is a metabolic state. It happens when your body switches from burning carbs as its fuel source to burning fat as fuel, as energy. So, keto isn't a food. It means you're fat adapted. You are burning fat as energy, and that's what you're running on as your fuel source. So when someone says, that's not keto, or you can't eat that on keto, it just doesn't make sense to me. If you keep your carb count low enough and you're not being knocked out of ketosis, you're burning ketones, you are doing a keto diet. What I worry about with those nasty types of comments is that someone who may have just found a video or is just looking into this lifestyle may be discouraged, thinking there's only one way that you can do keto, or they may think that people are rather nasty. And the majority of people on a low carb diet, we're not the keto police. Those are just a small number that's out there. I can guarantee you, if you talk to 10 people and ask them, what's keto? You're going to get a different answer or version from every single one of them. And that's because there's so many different ways to do it. What it all comes down to is you need to find what works best for you. I had no idea so many possible topics of conversation would come from that one video, at least half a dozen. And there's no way I can cover them all in this video or it will be extremely long. I do want to touch on this subject. It is something that if you watched the video, if you read through the comments, and even looked in the description, you would have no idea was going on behind the scenes. The reason that I'm even bringing it up, well, at first, it upset me, which quickly turned into, if I offended someone, then I want to apologize. And that's what we're going to discuss right now. The fact that YouTube saw the video, either the algorithm picked up on it or maybe it was reported, but they deemed it ineligible for monetization, meaning no ads. Since I could not figure out any rules or guidelines that I broke in the content, wording, phrases, I decided to appeal the decision. This is going to get me in a lot of trouble probably over here, but I don't understand what went wrong. Maybe some of you can give me your insight. The human reviewer states that the video just so happens to be a controversial issue and contains sensitive and controversial topics that could be traumatic to some viewers. It does go on to give some examples. I'm not going to get too far into it just because I know any of the words that I say weren't in that video, and if I say them here, they're going to do the same thing. But what I did was screenshotted it, and I did put it over on the Facebook group if you want to go read exactly what they say was in it. So not sure why they still want to deem it controversial, sensitive, because I don't feel any of that. If you see it differently, please let me know. And let me say this, if I'm wrong and it did bother someone, I sincerely apologize. That was never my intent from telling my story. And like I previously mentioned, this one video brought so many different possible topics to my attention just around keto, low carb, what's going on in the community, new guidelines that have come out. It's just been a lot to take in, and I'm still looking into researching and trying to find some answers. I'm not sure if you still want me to talk about the rest of those, and if you do, we'll definitely discuss it in episode 2. If you have any thoughts or comments or suggestions for what you would like it to revolve around, I would love to hear those. I'm going to have the Facebook group that I mentioned and that video we have discussed in this one linked down in the description box for you. And if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'd love to have you. Just cause I'm no longer doing keto, everything that I'm going to share, all of my content still applies. Spoiler, I'm just doing low carb. I'll see you next time. Bye.